Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of the Navigator series, a part of the Carbon Crew podcast. This is going to be your go-to podcast for transitioning into sustainability careers and building a future that is green, fulfilling, and impactful. I am your host, Chinyere. My friends call me Chini, and I'm excited to have you here. In this podcast, we're going to break down the confusion and uncertainty around making a green shift into sustainability or green careers, as we call it. Whether you're coming from a law background, procurement, journalism, finance, or any other field, we will talk about how the skills you already have or you already developed can set you up for success in the growing green economy. Now, let me tell you a little story about myself. My journey wasn't a straight one. I started in financial audit and assurance, really analyzing balance sheets, assessing risks, making sure companies are following the rules, compliance with IFRS, and so on. And you might think, what does that have to do with sustainability? Honestly, that is what I thought too at first. But as I transitioned into becoming a sustainable carbon and consents advisor, I realized a lot of the skills I learned in finance, like problem solving, critical thinking, data analysis, managing compliance, analytical skills, like was the core of it. And all of these are critical when dealing with sustainability projects, carbon accounting, renewable energy initiatives, carbon reduction strategies. And the best part is I'm not alone. So when you're thinking about ISSB or IFRS already having their sustainability reporting standards in place, then think about the fact that I've already had that experience in audit and assurance, and I understand how ISSB standards apply to accounting and how the disclosure part of the business works. So you see those set of skills being transferable from a financial audit and assurance background into sustainability reporting, carbon accounting, and so on. So why this podcast? When I started transitioning into the sustainability space, I was overwhelmed by all the new terminologies, certification, career shift landscape, plenty things coming up and down, online courses, programs here and there, and all of that kind of overwhelmed me. So I had to think, how do my past skills fit into all of these? Does this sound familiar? Maybe you're in a traditional role like procurement, journalism, law, or even data analytics, and you want to contribute to renewable energy transition, you want to fight climate change or help make supply chains more sustainable and greener. How do we even begin this? One of the biggest pain points I've come across, both personally and in talking with others, is imposter syndrome. I'm sure this is something you're very familiar with. Imposter syndrome always comes in play. Can I? Am I qualified enough? Do I have the right skills? It is that nagging doubt that says, I've never worked in sustainability before. Am I even qualified for this? Another pain point is understanding how your previous skills, which you spent years mastering, can be relevant in a new field. The fear of switching that career. Am I going to get that position, that senior role? I've been in a senior role in my previous job. Will I be able to get that same level of role, or am I going to start from the scratch, considering the financial implications? And if you've been in a career for a while, you might be worried about starting from the scratch, losing your seniority, stepping into an industry that seems to require tons of niche knowledge and new certification. The good news is you are already more prepared than you think. Let's take a real life example. My journey, when I was in audit, I didn't think I would ever dive into energy transition. But as I worked through on carbon advisory, helping companies navigate the environmental compliance, carbon strategy, the ESG part of their business, I quickly realized that the skills I used to have in financial assurance, attention to details, regulatory understanding, risk assessment, they were the very same skills I needed to advise clients on carbon management and sustainability practices. Another good example is from conversations I've had with previous colleagues and even people I've met in some networking events. I did have a conversation with someone in law, and She talked so much about how she has applied her law skills into contract processes, contract management, consent advisory. I also spoke with someone from a procurement background, and they shared how they shifted from managing suppliers' contract to working on sustainability supply chains for renewable energy projects. The core of their job was negotiating, relationship building, and cost analysis. And these transferred seamlessly into sourcing sustainable materials and managing eco friendly suppliers. The transition wasn't as daunting as they feared. And that's the key takeaway. Green skills are more about how you apply what you already know into new ways rather than starting from zero. In this podcast, we are going to be sharing more stories like this, real people, real transitions, and real advice on how you can move into green economy, no matter your background. But it won't just be a storytelling. We're going to dig deep into actionable steps. We're going to learn from people's experiences, and we're going to make them so relatable that you find yourself in those positions and you are ready to navigate to the heights that you desire. We're going to talk about how to identify transferable skills, whether you are a lawyer, a journalist, we will help you break down what you already know and how it can be applied in the green industries, like in consents advisory, energy data analysis, sustainable supply chain, market insights. We're going to talk about how to overcome barriers to entry, talk about certifications, trainings, and experiences that can give you a leg up without feeling like you're starting from the scratch. We're going to talk about market insights. Where is the demand for green jobs? What industries are booming? How can you position yourself to take advantage of opportunities in renewables and sustainability and energy transition in general? We will cover all of this. Navigating imposter syndrome. Every episode, I will share tips and techniques for overcoming that self doubt, including advice from guests who have successfully made the leap. And connecting with people like you is most important. It's all about community. We've all had those episodes where we hear listeners, hear people's stories, hear them answer questions about the challenges they faced. And when you connect with these kind of people, it becomes more relatable. So we're going to look at how legal professions are translating their contract management and compliance skills into careers overseeing environmental consents for renewable energy projects. How formal journalists, like that is so thrilling, are helping businesses and policymakers understand the green economy and track the fast-moving energy transition landscape. Why energy companies are looking for data professionals to help them make sense of everything, from consumption patterns to carbon emissions, and how you can pivot your data skills. The role of procurement professionals in shaping eco-friendly supply chain and how even traditional purchasing roles are evolving to support sustainability goals. I'm sure if we're putting our ears in the industry, we are understanding that one of the most daunting areas to decarbonize is supply chain. So there is a high demand of procurement and supply chain specialists. Let them bring in their skills. So here I'm going to talk about everything. I'm going to invite people to talk about their experiences, and you're going to hear from them and connect with them. Transitioning into the sustainability space isn't just about going green. It's about seeing how the world is shifting and realizing that you too can use what you already built, whether it is in law, whether it's in audit and accounting like myself, whether it's in chemistry, in biology, in ecology, whatever industry you are, you can make an impact. And this podcast is here to guide you every step of the way. So if you're ready to explore your green potentials, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes. If you're feeling unsure about how to start, or if you're already on the journey but need guidance, this podcast is for you. Stick with me, and I promise we will make this transition together. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.